This will be the second round of the current league, playing Survival Rock with the City of Brass Splash. And this is an okay hand. Opponent went to 6 on the play. That certainly improves things, at least potentially. Island. Just going to lead with Finhorn Elves. Chain of Vapor. Stasis or mono blue control. Or maybe Dreadnought. Leaning more towards Stasis or Dreadnought with 2 islands instead of a non-basic. That's interesting. I will Cabal Therapy. This is where it fits. I want to replay my Finhorn Elves. I'm going to name Counterspell so that they can't stop my flashback if I need to take something important. Gush, Impulse, Vision Charm. Okay. It's Dreadnought. I'm going to play the Elves and pass the turn. I'm not going to flashback the therapy. Even with them playing Impulse and Response, give me the opening to do it. Post-Impulse. I don't know. If I'm going to win the game, I'm going to need my Mana Acceleration. I'll need to get value through Wall of Blossoms. Good, no Dreadnought. So, with that being done, I'm going to lead with a wall. I'm going to flash back. And for the first therapy, maybe I should have named Impulse. Anyway. 2 accumulated knowledge. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Well, I guess I'll end the phase. And now that the floating mana is gone, another land. Alright. Well, it's very helpful that they had to gush reactively instead of proactively setting up for a Dreadnought or netting 1 mana from replaying a land when they don't have a drop or something like that. Probably won't be needing Flame Tongue Kavu here. Maybe I can catch something. The factory when they block a squirrel, perhaps. And I'm probably going to pay the Echo. Yeah, definitely. And this is why it's good that I played a swamp last turn. I can play my wastes and then use it. Get a bird out of this turn. Shredder. Another useless removal creature. But yeah, if I had not paid and then tried to cast Strange Hermit, they could in response AK for 2. And they could either foil it or stifle the trigger, both of which would have been bad. Anyway, it's hard for Dreadnought to race a bunch of creatures once they're, already on the battlefield. Like, they can stop them from coming down pretty well, but once it's in, it can be problematic. So I'm pretty happy having 9 here. Plus, if they are playing a version with Chain of Vapor, then that's probably in the slot where Powder Keg might be. And it's unlikely that they are playing it, at least in the main. Nice. Alright, I'm going to... Do I just attack with everything, even though Hermit is going to get eaten? They'll eat the Hermit with the Factory. They'll eat a Squirrel with the Dreadnought. And then they'll go to 1. That seems pretty good. Leave the bird back. And just jam my attack in. Yeah, they can block if they want. It's not going to make the difference. And hopefully I'm right about them not playing Powder Keg. But even if they do, they would have to keep the Dreadnought back as a blocker. Then I could play Bone Shredder. It would be a 1-power flyer. But anyway, game's over. Glad to have taken game 1. Makes a big difference. I have some stuff I don't want. Okay, so with those out, I definitely want those, and this, and that, and this. There's a lot of good stuff for this matchup. I might even want Withered Wretch, take out Accumulate Knowledge, but I don't know, I'll put it in. Maybe take it right back out. Second Squee if if I somehow find way more sideboard space than I expect. A lot of Dreadnought lists don't even have sideboard graveyard hit. Anyway, what do I not want? I do not want Hermit. And if Hermit's gone, Nightmare's worse. And if Hermit's gone, well, if Roots is worse. I like Wall of Blossoms as something to sack for therapy. I do kind of want to put the Nightmare back in. But they'll probably have a Null, and they'll definitely have Stifle. They might have Graveyard Hate. It's just really efficient for them to answer it. I might want Squee. Like if I don't know. I don't want them to grind me out after hitting my Squee with a Furnace or something. Alright. Maybe the second Wall of Roots for another Squee. Just pad it a little bit. I hope I don't regret that. No. That doesn't make sense. If they play artifact-based Graveyard Hate, I have a lot of removal for artifacts. They can probably just clear the way ahead. Maybe put in the Nightmare. It can help me jam through a Tradewind Rider, which is just incredibly good. So even though it's not super efficient, I'm going to keep it this time around. Also notable is that this version has 2 Quirion Ranger and 2 Mana Elves, so it is more mana heavy. Anyway, that is definitely a keeper. Hopefully I draw something to play for 1 mana. Nope. That's alright though. Well, we'll see how alright it turns out to be. They're gonna... Oh, thank goodness. Alright, I was worried for a second there. Time to play Fiend. Counterspell. Alright, 1 counterspell down. There's Factory. I wonder if they kept Days in. It's not bad on the play for them. That's nice. Don't have any splash at the moment, though. Anyway, I'll play Wall of Roots. And ramp that up into a Wall of Blossoms. Duress. Solid. Good. Turns on my Battle Mage. I'm going to lead with Duress. Might not even get to keep my Battle Mage. What are they thinking about? Yeah, hardcasting the foil on it. Hey, they do have J's. That's funny. Okay. I'm going to... Yeah, I'll take the foil. And then play a survival. I want them to, like, go to great lengths to bounce it or whatever. Only for me to, bounce it, say no for a counter, only for me to have a second one. That would be a really nice way for us to have an exchange. Days. It's a aggressive. They probably found a foil. Well, do I want to use the city or do I want to down-tick the wall? I'll use the city. Save my wall for later. Okay, so yeah, they're probably about to 3-for-1 themselves, which would be wonderful, especially because they just got rid of the flash. Oh, wow. That was interesting. I did not expect that. Desperation move, maybe. I'm going to discard that and go get Squee. And end the turn. Alright, a turn without proactive action. That is good. The longer this goes on in this manner, the better it is for me. Alright, they're going for the strategic chain here. I wonder if they actually found a counter. I mean, the issue is they couldn't even play a counter spell. Anyway, how do I want to do this? Scavenger Folk is good. Sits on the board and puts a nice barrier between me and the opponent's Dreadnought. Maybe they have a null. Yeah, it's a null, I think. Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, it's like the days earlier. That's a little bit confusing. But I'm not going to complain. Get rid of this Squee. Go and get... probably just Birds of Paradise. Ramp up my mana a little bit. Play Bird, play Scavenger Folk. This puts me in a good spot if they happen to have the Tide package. In my opinion, it's not correct for Dreadnought to bring that in. When I played the Dreadnought side against this deck a couple times, the plan was to jam a Dreadnought through fast. That seems way better than trying to cut off lands when creatures will do the trick. Anyway, there's the Dreadnought. Time to move into action here. Ooh, wow. Okay. That's a lot of mana. I guess I'll start by discarding that. And now that I have tons of mana, I want Genesis. Hopefully they don't crypt me, but it's more likely that they would play Furnace. That's what I have in my own board. Okay, I'm going to go get Trado and Rider. Is there a way for me to do this without having to downtick my Wall of Roots? I don't think there is. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I want to do it this way. No, this works. What am I thinking? I think I said without downticking my Wall of Roots when I meant without tapping City of Brass or downticking my Wall of Roots. Anyway, my brain's doing one thing, but my mouth's doing another. I'm just sort of babbling. Okay, do I want to... Yeah, I do want to play another survival. I guess I may as well. So, end of the turn. And now, in case they have Cursed Totem or something, I'll go for the Scavenger Folk. I don't want to... Well, I mean, I've got Octavia Rainatane. This deck is super complicated. Even more so with the splash colors. But yeah, they can dig deep for protection here. I'll just go for the Naturalize. And they're specifically looking for Stifle. And while 7 is a lot, it's no guarantee. Okay, so there's the Stifle. They did find it. And I will respond. Hopefully they don't have days. I'll respond with Naturalize. Yeah, post-board, it's great to have so much density. Anyway, they had more protection, but like I'm still gonna have like 2 ways to get rid of the Dreadnought, even on their turn, with it being phased out until when they go. So I'll get back these Scavenger Folk, I guess. Suppose I'll just tap it like that. Probably doesn't matter. Another Trade Wind. Nice. Alright, I'm going to play the Scavenger Folk. That will be mana neutral with the Gaia's Cradle. I will discard Squee. That is going to go get Quarian Ranger. I will play the Ranger. I don't think the order matters between playing the Ranger and playing the Rider. And let's see, 1/1/2, untap, 1/1/2. Okay, I can afford to tap the bird here. So, why take the chance? Alright, that seems like a pretty solid place to be. Bounce, bounce. Stifle. Alright, untap. And do it again. Yeah, the sheer quantity of answers that this demands from them is... I mean, it has to reach the point where they run out soon. They do have a card, though. Is it another Stifle? Vision Charm will work, but of course that only postpones the inevitable. Anyway, looks like I got it. So that is gone. And on my turn, bounce lands, go get braids, play braids, and the game is just locked. It's back. Alright, yeah, they're packing it in, though. Going for a stylish end here. Playing the second Dreadnought. 24 power on the board for one beautiful moment. And that's a concession. Sweet. Really solid win against Dreadnought there.